What's going on, guys? Today we're getting into another video reviewing and previewing the England versus PNG quarterfinal matchup. Longy, I know you're a massive fan of PNG, mate. What are your thoughts?
Mate, I am loving the form of PNG in this tournament. One of the best defensive outfits going around, top five in that stat. They've had some really tough games to start. To have to beat Cook Islands and Wales, who both were pretty good through the opening rounds, and play against Tonga as well in the opener. It's been tough, but never in doubt that PNG were going to get there. Look, I'm just looking at this England game now. It's a tough game. We're going to go into England in a second, but for PNG to win, it's going to be some wet conditions, which I think suits PNG. It's probably going to be a closer, sort of more tight-knit game in the forwards. England are used to that, but I think PNG are a bit more of an aggressive, a bit more physical sort of defensive outfit. And I think they're a bit less afraid of, running in those tight sort of crash balls as well. I think if PNG can bruise a few ribs early in this game and just get the edge back rowers a little frightened of those inlines, get the centers a little frightened of those inlines, and potentially get Justin Olam sort of running loose, they're going to be right up in this game. How do you think for PNG they have to play it to win as such outsiders here?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. Their previous meetings at the World Cup, England has won both of them, so it's it's a different PNG side, though, I feel, to the ones in previous years. We have seen those, lesser known guys really stand up. Your Roderick Ties, your
I
Edwin
love Roderick Ty,
Ipape.
man. Roderick Ty is so explosive. Yeah, sorry, continue on.
No, Edwin Ipape, it has just absolutely blown every other hooking, you know, player out of the water. It's ridiculous to think that he has 7 line break assists for a team that won 2 out of their first 3 games, and he's a hooker. Most line break assists go to either halves or fullbacks. Those guys finishing off the play, but he's really taking it to every team that he plays, and that's the key for PNG. If they can get the jump on England, they're going to be served so well. Like if they can come out and score a quick try or 2 quick tries, I'm wishful thinking, they can really put the pressure back on England because England haven't experienced that during this World Cup so far. They've had a relatively easy group. I think we thought that, Samoa would come out and give them a few problems. It was going to be a bit of a battle between them, but Samoa just didn't turn up in that first game. And since then, they've been cruising. Dom Young is on absolute fire. So's Jack Wellsby. A little doubt on Radley, though, and I think that could hurt them if he doesn't play. What do you think about England's chances if Radley doesn't play? Because
Radley
he's been
is
massive for
a
them.
necessity for them. If Radley doesn't play in general for this tournament, like I give England zero chance against the top flight sort of Australia, New Zealand type nations. It'd be interesting to see them play against like a Tonga or Samoa without Radley. Just
Mm.
that stiffness in the middle wouldn't so much be there. Again, this game, I think it's an enormous loss. We were just talking about the physicality PNG will play with, and Victor Radley is that guy for the England team. So if he's not there, PNG start looking like great value. Let's go to England for a second, though, because you were talking about their run. I think their team really suits dry, expansive footy, a bit free flowing, quicker play the balls, sort of retreating defensive line. Their average scoreline in this tournament has been 65-9. Like, that's absurd. And that's been blown out by the fact that France scored 18 points on them. France, who
Mm.
really struggled in this tournament. So when a team has sort of turned up against them and tried a bit, or sort of been matched up at least reasonably well, which Samoa were terrible against them. And their other matchup was a bit of a softer matchup, but France sort of turned up and made it a game. I think PNG are a big chance at an upset here. It's because it's been too easy. What I will say though is for England, like their attack does come from a lot of different positions. So in that Samoa game, for example, you can't, like we point to Dom Young and we point to Wellsby and a lot of these guys, but 5 different guys had try assists. Admittedly, one of those was Radley with 3 try assists in that game. When he went to hooker, he changed their attack a lot as well.
Mm.
If they're missing that, they become a bit more one-dimensional. I mean, how do you feel about them, I guess, if they're missing Radley or more generally in this game?
Yeah, they were impressive through the first three games. I think the captain, Sam Tompkins, has really stepped up in a lot of ways, in ways that I didn't really see from him when he played in the NRL as well. It wasn't that, leadership role. I'm gonna, try and get my team on the front foot, put them in the best position to win. It was more, oh, I'm just filling out a role. I'm playing fullback. I'm finishing off plays. I'm not really getting in the best position defensively. And I think he took a lot from his NRL experience and really applied it over there, and um, has excelled from that. But yeah, it just with the PNG side again, they're going to be outclassed, in terms of experience at higher levels of football. But I don't think PNG care. They've never cared whenever they've played anyone, let alone, a pretty experienced England team. And England's team has got a lot of NRL talent as well. So that's top flight level we're talking about.
Yeah.
Whereas, PNG just have this effervescence around them that, no matter how big the obstacle, no matter how high the mountain, they're just going to burst through it. Um, and often it's a little bit of a bridge too far, but you can't knock the heart of them, and that's why we love them too. So it's going to be a belter game. I might actually stay up and watch it because I think this game has the biggest potential for an upset over the weekend. I think.
Yeah. I mean, look, this game does have a lot of potential. The other one is Samoa and Tonga, but we actually had a poll on the channel. And yeah, go to the community tab of our YouTube channel if you want to see these polls and vote on them. We got 131 votes on this one. I asked the question of which team do you think is going to win against the odds, and 71% of the votes went for PNG against England. Of the remainders, the second best outcome was 15%, people voting all the favourites would win. So 71% people are back in PNG, and even looking at PNG v England, we have a lot of PNG subscribers right now. So 85% of the subscribers said that Papua New Guinea would win against England. So there's a lot of backing for PNG against England in this game for us. One thing I want to raise, though, just on your point about Tompkins, I actually reckon there's something that PNG can exploit there. And I would, if anyone from PNG is watching and wants to invite me to the coaching staff, I'm so willing. But Tompkins' first two games of this tournament, 40 meters and 86 meters run. He's not a big unit, slippery surface, not a meter eater. You got two very good meter eaters on the wings. If PNG can pin some kicks into the corners, and this is where Labour and Lamb are going to do really good, but if PNG can pin some kicks into the corners, get early tackles on Dom Young in particular, lock him up, the other wingers coming across on the other side of the field, force Tompkins to take that second run, they're going to start England with some very, very poor field position. And look, they've got to make the meters to get into attack and kicking position, but that's something they should be exploiting like aggressively through this game, and they should be smashing Tompkins every time he gets the ball because they've got such a physical advantage.
It's kind of the Ryan Pappenhausen, Billy Slater mold that you go with. Not saying that
those guys are different though, right? Like
not saying that Sam Tompkins is that player, but because those guys had incredible speed or had incredible ball skills. I just think that you're so right. The way I picture Tompkins is like the Gordon Tallis moment where Brett Hodgson is just getting dragged over the sideline by someone bigger than him.
That too, yeah.
It's a bit of a Sam Tompkins kind of thing that you can't get away from. He's a small guy. He's more a ducker and weaver than a take the line on kind of player, but he's not afraid to get in there and kind of lead by example and get his team on the front foot. I think England are playing that kind of brand of footy now where a lot of teams aren't really fighting for the extra meters. They're hitting contact, landing on their front, getting a quick play of the ball, and then playing off the back of that, which I think is, I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like it's a little bit cowardly. But that's just me, maybe coming from a bit of an older background of, you run as hard as you can and you fight for every meter that you can. And that's the way that PNG play. whether it's going to benefit them in this game or not, we'll see. But England, yeah, they've got a system right now. It's been working for the first 3 games, and I no doubt they'll go back to it.
Well, yeah, 65-9 is crazy. They're massive favorites. PNG are paying $10 in this game. I'm gonna have some money on PNG, but
I feel sorry for Greece.
90 plus is crazy.
Thank God they didn't hit 100. I think they'd be just like, well, at least they didn't hit 100.
and Greece scored as well in that game too. So, but that's again, that's not a good preparation. Like they had 3 very, very, very easy games coming into this, and PNG had tough games. Cook Islands, like the other thing you raised too, you talked about the top flight talent. PNG don't have any games ever where they play a decent team who's less experienced than them. Like the Cook Islands has more NRL players than PNG.
Yeah, and they thumped them.
Yeah, and they beat them up. Tonga is this stacked superstar riddled team full of NRL. The best forward pack I've ever seen in my life. Like, and PNG rocked up and beat them up and were outright robbed with a crap call in that game. Like, you know, I don't think it's a problem for them. They're just this one team that transcends on paper talent. They're the one country that I can say that about. I don't say that about anyone else. I don't think any other team plays different to their on paper talent. PNG is the one country that does that. And that's why I love them so much. Like, I would love for them to win this game. I know, look, England's at home and England's been playing great and they deserve this. And Sam Tompkins is super creative. Like, I'm not roasting any of England, but God, I would love PNG to win this and just go through and face Tonga or Samoa, which they could absolutely win for a grand final spot. Like,
imagine a revenge game, the Tonga versus PNG semi-final.
Different referee.
Different referee. And then they get the result that they deserve, and they get to go through to a World Cup final.
I'm actually tingling just thinking.
And get thumped by New Zealand. No.
Oh, you mean Australia?
I'm sticking to my pick.
All right, give me your prediction for this game then. Talk through the rationale and give me a scoreline prediction.
See, I actually think that PNG need to not give England a sniff, because I think if it's closer, England have those players that can ice games, like your George Williams of the world, your Sam Tompkins, as we spoke about.
Yeah.
You got Radley there if he plays, huge. John Bateman, has been, absolutely pivotal in making, clutch moments happen. We all remember that try.
Tigers as well. So
think
is that the best edge back row pair in the comp?
It's pretty damn close. I'll tell you right now. I think aside from Parramatta lost Papali'i, I would have said Lane and Papali'i, but Papali'i's gone now. But
you probably take Bateman over Lane. Like Lane's been amazing this year, but Bateman was the best player in the comp for periods of his time in the NRL.
Oh mate, he was outstanding. But we'll make another video about that, but possibility of him going there. But yeah, I think PNG actually need to be up by at least 10 plus going to the last 5 minutes. So I'm going to say 24-14 final score.
If PNG were to win?
Yep.
And what about if England were to win?
I think it was close.
Yep.
I think England either win by a lot or will get it done in the clutch. Like, say if the game is tied with 5 minutes to go or so, George Williams is pretty good at just slotting that field goal. Maybe they grab a try through, some Jack Wellesby brilliance down the short side. Dom Young, streaks away to score. But I'm going to say if England get it done, they're going to get it done easy, and I'm going to say 30-10 is the final score.
Okay. I'm going to go a different way and just say I think Radley misses this game. I think it's going to be really close.
Big part of the rationale.
I think England are going to have some chances to take it. And I can see in my head already this England lining up for field goals and PNG just chasing down those charge downs, just chasing down those kick pressures, just playing like their entire country's watching. We've seen images of roads covered with people watching one screen in PNG. Like, they are hardcore and the players know it. most of them come from there. I'm going to go with a 22-20 scoreline. So just a really close one. Actually, no, I'm changing that.
PG?
Because I just remembered the rain. I'm going to reduce one try from each team and go for 16-14.
Okay.
I think England go, so it's going to be 12 all. I think it'll be really close. I think England take the penalty to go ahead, and then PNG score a try with about 10 to go. And England have chances.
Reece Martin slots it. Is that what you're saying?
Reece Martin is always slot them. But this one, I don't think he does. I think he misses that because he doesn't need to kick it, so he doesn't worry about it. So yeah, we're going to go with 16-14.